Hello BookTube, hello friends, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and today is Saturday, so it's past time for Friday Reads. Actually, I guess I can't even call it Friday Reads anymore, although I did intend to film this on Friday, but I just didn't get it done. I have been doing lots of reading since my last Friday Reads video. I have finished 7 books, and I'm on track to finish at least that many more by the end of the month, which is 2 days away. So it's not because I have a full 7 books left to read. I have been working diligently and chinking away at several print books, 4 to be exact, for the most part of the month. I did start another one today and I'm already a third of the way through. It's going to be fast. But I have been reading diligently and just doing, 1 or 2 chapters a day in these main 4 books that I have been working towards that are in print, and then reading some audiobooks, a children's book, and it's going to be great. When I get done with the month, I should have finished 24 or 25 books. So let me tell you what I have finished this week and then what I am currently reading and hoping to finish by the end of the month. If you've already watched my Stack the Series challenge for October, November, and December, which some people have started calling Stackmas, then you already know what I have coming up for October, as well as my readathon videos, or 2 readathons, 1 video. And so that's what I have coming up at the beginning of October, and I'm really excited to get started on those. But in the meantime, I've got to finish up all of these books that I have been reading and squeeze in as many audiobooks as I can. So let me stop rambling, because in a few minutes someone's going to knock at our door. We're going to be taking care of some friends' dogs while they're going on vacation, and I'm just trying to squeeze this filming in before they get here. And they're bringing over 2 dogs. One we've met, one is fairly new to them, and I hope they're going to get along with our dog Bob and our cats, but we'll find out. So anyway, let me not talk about that right now, but get on with this. So the books that I finished in the last 7 days, 5 of them were audio, and 1 was a children's book, and then 1 was one of the 4 books that I've been reading in print that I've been trying to get done over the last month, and for a couple of them I've been working on them longer than a month. So the audiobooks, one of them was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I'm sure all of you have seen that. It's a YA contemporary romance. It's the beginning of a trilogy. The reason I had it on my Audible wish list for a while. It's on the Audible Escape package, so I knew I was going to be able to access it as part of my package. And I wasn't in any particular rush to read it, but I realized that on the Summer Romance Book Bingo, one of the prompts is to read a YA book. And so I grabbed that and I listened to it all in one day and got that done so that I had something to count for that prompt. Then another thing I realized when I was going through the list of 80 prompts for the Summer Romance Book Bingo is that I had not read a single book that was published the year I was born, which is 1964. So I hurriedly went through, did some searching, and I found that The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein was published in 1964 originally. So I looked on Overdrive through my library and I found it, and actually, no, it wasn't even Overdrive. It was Hoopla. It was an ebook on Hoopla. And so I checked it out and I read it and was able to count that done on my Summer Romance Book Bingo, which, by the way, I'm planning to do a wrap-up of that hopefully pretty soon. Then on my last Friday Reads video, I had already mentioned that I was finishing up the trilogy by Francine Rivers. The 3rd book is As Sure as the Dawn. The trilogy is called Mark of the Lion. This is set back in biblical times in Rome, in and around Rome, and it was very good. I enjoyed it much more than I even thought that I would. So I'm really excited that I got that trilogy done. And then so also when I was going through the Summer Romance Book Bingo list, I realized that I had not listened to either of the books that I had picked for the category challenge for the Audible Escape package for the month of September. So I went through and I found a couple of books for that. One of them I am listening to right now, but the one I've already finished was super cute. It was in the new adult category. Now, I believe that new adult just means age group. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's steamy. So I was able to find a book that was very sweet, very clean. I think it was a little bit faith-based, and it was called Meet Me in Myrtle Beach by Brooke St. James. And I think I can show you a picture, maybe. Actually, I've already got one pulled up. The one I'm reading right now is for the animal and beast category. And actually, I have found one there that is not particularly steamy. At least I don't think it's going to be. It's actually a little more magical, and it's really cute. It's called Emily and Einstein, and it's by Linda Francis Lee. It's basically about, it kind of reminds me of the Family Man, is that what it was called, with Nicolas Cage, where in this case, the husband, he's not behaving exactly as he should. In fact, he wants to divorce his wife, and he's killed, but he's given a second chance as a dog. And so his wife, who is mourning the loss of her husband, adopts him as a dog and takes him home. And that's kind of where I am right now. So it is really a cute story. So then going back now, the other one that I listened to for the other challenge, let's see, it's coming up. It's by Brooke St. James, Meet Me in Myrtle Beach. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me turn down the brightness. Sorry. It's too bright. It's hard to see it when it's that bright. Anyway, it's just two people there on the beach. So this is the beginning of a series, the Hunt Family series, and it was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was about a young woman who, as I recall, she was kind of in between jobs, trying to decide where to go from here. She meets this woman who hires her to come and be her assistant. And she says, our first thing is we're going on vacation with all of my family, so you're coming with me. And so she goes and meets all of her family, and turns out this woman is very well off, and she has invited her because she's hoping that maybe she will spark up a romance with one of her sons. But it turns out to be a different son who has a little girl that she ends up falling for. And it's really a sweet story. I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and I do want to go ahead and read more of the series. So anyway, there is one more book on the Audible romance package, and again, it was for the summer romance book bingo. I was trying to get everything finished up and meet all of the challenges by the first day of fall, or by the last day of summer. I ended up not getting this book started until after midnight on the first, well, it was after midnight on what had been the last day of summer. So, because I had told myself, everything I can at least get started, then if I can at least get started on it during the summer, even if it's the last day, then I'll count it for the romance book bingo. Well, it was after midnight, but I did get started on it before I went to bed. And it was still summer in California. So we're going to go with that. So anyway, I did meet all 80 prompts for the summer romance book bingo with a different book for each prompt. So I am excited about that. Anyway, let me see if I can find. Then I needed one more book that was about someone who works in the medical field. So this had been on my list for a while, or at least a book by C.J. Lyons had been on my list for a while. And actually the one I had on my list was the first book in the Shadow Ops series. Well, it's more of a first responder kind of series. This Nerves of Steel is the first book in the Hart and Drake series, and it is about an ER doctor. So that was a book that I knew was going to be able to meet that challenge. I have been wanting to read C.J. Lyons because she is from the same hometown as one of my coworkers at my theme park job. And he's been telling me about her and her books. He's read some of them, and he's been encouraging me to read them, and I just hadn't ever gotten around to it. So I liked it. I didn't like everything about it, but I did like the book, and I do want to go ahead and read more of the Hart and Drake series by C.J. Lyons. Okay, so then I finished an audiobook that I had already mentioned. This one I was listening to in my car. The last two discs, I knew that when I was in my car, what day was it? I don't know, earlier in the week, I thought, I'm probably not going to be back in my car for a couple of days. I really want to get this done. I was like, Lord, please let the CD player in my kitchen work. It's still been sitting there, but the last time I tried to use it, I couldn't get it to work. I put the next to last disc of this in it, and it worked. Praise the Lord. And so I was able to finish this book and start another book on CD that I have been wanting to get to before the end of the month. So I'll tell you about that in a second. Anyway, this is Swimming Lessons by Mary Alice Monroe. I first showed you this in one of my hospital Friday reads, and this was very good. It's the sequel to The Beach House. There are 5 books in the series, so this is book 2. This takes place 5 years after the first book, and the main character in this book is Toy. She was a pregnant teenager in the first book, and now she's an early 20-something woman with a 5-year-old daughter, and it is a very good book. I think I liked it just as much, if not more, as the first one. And so, anyway, I'm not going to say too much more about that because I need to move on and get this done. At some point when I get done with the series, I might do a series review of that. I know I keep saying that, and you're like, yeah, well, there's a lot of series you finished and we haven't seen a series review of. I am working on that, especially The Cat in the Stacks. I have been checking out the rest of the books that I don't own from the library. I think there's 2 or 3 more left. I picked some up today, and as soon as all of those come in, then I'm going to do that video. Okay, then the one I finished today, yay, is a print book. This is Mission to Protect by Terri Reid, the first book in the Military Canine Unit, and I didn't realize that this has 2 mysteries in it, and one of them is going to carry through the series. I think it's an 8-book series by Harlequin Love-inspired suspense, and I am intrigued now to go ahead and read more of the series. The first 2 books in the series were what Catherine from Jane Catherine on Books hosted for March Mystery Madness for her read-alongs, and I already have the second one on my Kindle. I read half of this in print because I found this on our library sales shelves, and then I had bought it on my Kindle, and so I ended up kind of going back and forth. Some of it I read on my Kindle and some I read in this print book. And then what I am working on right now that I will finish before the end of the month, because literally in these other 3, I have 30 pages left in one and 40 pages left in each of the other 2. And so I went ahead and started another book today. It's a really quick read, and so I'll tell you about it in a minute. So I'm going to do a separate video on this one, Chronicles of a Radical Hag with Recipes by Lorna Landvik. And I'm going to reserve comment just at this moment, although I've mentioned to you a little bit about it. And I'm going to do a full video on it because it's a very interesting book. Then I am almost done with my next misread book. This is the first book in the Fair Acre series called Village School, and I'm really, really enjoying it. And Shay from Shay Geeks Out, I'm using your bookmark that I picked up at Booknet Fest. Or actually, you gave this to me at Booknet Fest. And then Jodi Thomas's The Little Teashop on Maine. I've got 40 pages left in this one. This one's a lot different than most of the other books I've read by Jodi Thomas. It takes place over quite a large time period. It's from a lot of different perspectives, and it's very good so far. I don't like everything about it, but I, for the most part, love it. So I'm excited about getting that done. And then the book that I just started today, those of you guys who watched my series on books with great titles, you might recall this is one that I did not own, but I had just found out about it and love the title. I have it now from my library, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Watermelon Days and Firefly Nights by Annette Smith. This is made up of 16 little stories that are all set in the town of Ella Louise, Texas, which I think is fictional. I'm going to look it up, but I think it's fictional. So far, they're not laugh out loud funny, but they are cute. Well, actually, the 5th one, because I've read 5 of them now, the 5th one, I did chuckle out loud, and maybe they'll get funnier as we go. But I'm really glad that our library had this, and it is really a fun read. So my goal is to read a third of it each day, and so I read a third of it today. And then I will get it finished by the end of Monday so that I can count it for September. And I am super excited about that. Then the other book I just started yesterday, I guess. This is a brand new book, a new release, and I put my name down for it at the library. I didn't have any idea if I would get it soon or when I would get it. But then I realized that the CD copy, after it had already come out, I realized that I think 4 different libraries in my county had a CD copy, and one of them was still available, and it wasn't on hold for anybody. So the CD and the book came in on the same day, and I'm already a third of the way done with it, and it is by Susan Wiggs, The Oysterville Sewing Circle. Now, I haven't really gotten to much of the sewing part yet, but I got to show you the end papers. Look at that. Quilters and seamstresses. Look at the end papers. Aren't those great? My sister, Charlotte, are you seeing this? This is so great. So this is about a clothing designer she originally is from Washington, but she's been living in New York. And you know from the prologue that she has come back home with 2 children. And I think they do make the statement that, well, they do tell you what happened to their mother, but she has the care of them right now. I'm not going to give too many spoilers, but she had been in New York working with a design firm, and I won't give you all the other reasons of why she's not there anymore. I'll let you read it. But so far, I'm enjoying it, all except for there is some swearing. And, I really wanted this to be one of those books that I could recommend to my mom, although my mom has passed away. But, I wanted it to be that type of book where I could say, wow, this is a book you could recommend to your mother. And then right early in the book, the main character gets frustrated about something, and she sandwiches the F word right in between the words good and God. And I was listening to an audio, and I shut it off for a minute. I was like, why do we have to have this? I mean, and then I thought, okay, well, she's in the fashion industry and all that. But they managed to have gotten through many seasons of The Bold and the Beautiful in the high fashion industry without using those words. So I think it could be done. Anyway, I'm still listening to it, and, I hate that part of it, but the story is really intriguing so far. And when I get done, I probably will do a video about this, because there's some things I want to talk about that would be total spoilers. So I want to do some kind of a video where I can just chat about it. And then if any of you guys get around to reading it, then you can chat about some of these things with me. So anyway, this is what I am reading right now. I think I'm almost done with a 3rd disc out of 10. So I need to listen to 1 or 2 more discs today. And then I'll be on track to get this finished by the end of the month as well. So it's on CD though, so I can't speed it up, but that's okay. I think I can manage it, especially since my CD player in my kitchen is working again. Okay, that's it for this video. I need to wrap this up because someone's going to be knocking on our door any minute now with 2 dogs for us to keep for a week, and I'm super excited about that. So let me know if you have read any of these books, or if you're interested in reading any of these books. Chat about them in the comments with me, or just chat about anything in the comments. I love when you guys comment to my videos. Sometimes it takes me a few days to actually come back and answer you, but I always read them almost immediately, and I just really enjoy chatting with you guys. So that's all I have for this video. I hope to see you soon in another video. I hope you're reading a good book. Have a great day, and God bless you.